What's up? How you doing? I'm DudeMan. Well, that's not really my name, but I was given that name. It's my hiker name. And some of my friends or relatives are probably wondering, what is a hiker name? Well, every person that hikes the AT, instead of going by the real name, actually goes by a hiker name. And it just kind of helps the community to kind of come together. And sometimes a hiker name is based on a habit that someone does. Sometimes like a Shutterbug. I have a mutual friend, his name is Shutterbug, and he takes a lot of pictures. And so that's his trail name. And it could be a lot of different things, something that you drink or something that you eat or some of the habits, like I said, that you do. But my name is DudeMan as a trail name. Shutterbug gave me that name. Why do I have that name? Normally when I refer to another guy that I know, that I'll call him, hey man, how you doing? And when I greet him, hey man. But if I can't remember the name, and I have real bad problems with names, I said, that dude over there, that dude did this and the dude did that. I remember when I was substitute teaching in school systems, I'd be telling some of the kids, hey dude, go sit down, and the kids thought it was so fun and so funny. And what's kind of cool about that is throughout the school year, as I was substitute teaching, I noticed the kids were calling each other dude. So I started something. Anyway, trail name DudeMan. So my name is Tim Jordan, and I'm preparing to hike the Appalachian Trail. I hope to. I'm flying down tomorrow on March 5th, and you can go ahead and speak up. My editor-in-chief is behind the camera. What was you saying?
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera. Okay, I'm looking at the camera. Anyhow, so I'm going down March 5th, and I'm flying down into Atlanta, and then the 6th, 7th, 8th, coincidentally, is the Appalachian Trail Kickoff, ATKO. And so there's going to be a lot of vendors there, and there's going to be a lot of cool things to see. There's going to be some speakers. And what's so cool about being able to be at the Appalachian Trail Kickoff is I'm going to purchase a passport. You guys have seen passports, which you travel out throughout the whole world, international passport. Well, and you get stamps for different countries that you go through. Well, this particular passport is going to allow me to get stamps from Georgia all the way to Maine. And what's so special about me being about this coming weekend, there's a special stamp for the Appalachian Trail Kickoff. Of course, I'm going to be able to get a stamp at the Amalacola Falls Lodge. They got a stamp there also. But all along the way, whether it be a restaurant or a post office or a hostel, or there's a lot of different places where you get stamps at. And I think it's going to be really cool to kind of chronicle my journey along the way. And that's what I'm going to do. Why am I doing this channel, this YouTube channel? Is it DudeMan TV? Is it Adventures of DudeMan? I don't know. All I know that every time I post Facebook pictures with an incredible camera that I got on this Pixel 4, is that I get a lot of interest on my pictures and videos and things I'm going. And I mean, this is a trek of a lifetime. It's 2,200 miles to go on the Appalachian Trail, and it's just what an adventure to be able to go into the mountains and see the spectacular views, and to be able to have a great time to be able to see the wonders of God's creation, and just to be able to see the beautiful things that I'll be able to see and experience, and all the people I get to meet and talk to and stuff like that. And I just want to help people to understand my journey, my ministry that I'm planning on going on to. And there'll be a lot more videos that goes along with this. Today is just an introductory video, and I got to pack all my stuff up. Today is Wednesday, and I'm hitting the trail, hitting the road on tomorrow, and I ain't got nothing packed. But I brought it all out, and I've got it sectioned here on the floor in the living room and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to show you a few pieces of my gear. And a lot of this is winter gear. And I know some of you experienced backpackers, or some of those people that's been out in the woods before. It's like, you got too much heavy stuff. And I realize that. I'm fully aware of that. But I got some more lighter weight stuff that I have packed up, and a little bit more about that later. But my wife is going to be my support vehicle, and it's so great that she's going to be able to meet me at different places where the trail crosses the road. And maybe sometimes it's going to be in town or something like that. But I'm going to have some lighter weight stuff stored in the RV, and I'm going to be able to drop all my heavy winter stuff a little bit later on. She's going to meet me in a couple, 3 weeks, and hopefully in a month and a half from now, I'm going to be able to pick up my lighter summer gear and be able to have some short pants and lighter pants and lighter shirts and stuff like that. But right now I have winter gear, and I got to. I mean, you think, well, March, it's 50, 60 degrees here in North Carolina. Well, in the mountains of North Carolina and Georgia, it's going to be 20 degrees. I've already checked the weather, and there's a possibility of rain some nights. So I got to protect myself, and I realize some of my stuff is heavy, but that's just the way it goes. So anyway, let's start looking at some of the gear that I'm taking with me. And yes, I got to pack it all in this backpack, which I'm fixing to show you. So here we go. Let's start off with some of the clothing and stuff like that. Here's a couple pairs of pants I got. I got a heavy duty pair of pants. This is actually from Duluth, and this is actually treated with permethrin, and it's a heavy duty pant. And it'll be definitely too warm for the summer, but anyhow, it breathes well. It's lightweight. This is a lightweight pair of pants. I got this from Costco. It's Eddie Bauer, and compared to the amount of money that you would pay in the stores and stuff like that, in other stores that had hiking and backpacking stuff, this is a cheap pair of pants. I think I paid like $20 for it. I'm real happy about that. What's really cool about these, I have 3 different colors. I got a gray, I got a blue, and I got a green. These pants legs will roll up to above my knees, and they kind of I consider them just as good as a short pair of pants because they're lightweight and they're thin, and they're going to help me be able to hike, and they're a little bit of water repellent. So I kind of really like them, something like that. Of course, you got to wear underwear. Some people wear underwear. I got a couple of pairs that I'm trying out. These are the ex officios. Bought them at REI, and they're supposed to be. They don't smell as much, and there's a lot of kind of cool features about it. They dry out quickly and stuff like that. I'm usually a jockey guy, and I usually wear the jockeys, and I've been wearing them for a long time. They've always been comfortable. They don't chafe and stuff like that. The main thing about underwear, you want to make sure they don't chafe if you wear them from a long period of time. Some other underwear type stuff like that. This is a couple of my undershirts like that. Once again, this is from Jockey. Just a polyester type shirt, long, thin sleeve. I could wear this next to my skin. What's so cool about this? I could pull the sleeves up. It could be a short sleeve shirt. Now I have plenty of short sleeve shirts made out of this kind of material, and they will keep. I'm gonna wear those this kind of summer. But I could pull these sleeves up. This is actually more vented than the other one, and obviously I've been using it for construction type purposes and painting and stuff like that. Thank you, Shutterbug, for ruining this shirt. But it's got some more venting in it and stuff like that, so it's going to help me in warm winter days to be able to stay a little bit cooler. So that's another clothing items that I have. Here is when it really gets cold on the trail. Once again, this is from Duluth, and this is called 3 Dog underwear. In other words, if it's so cold you got to huddle up with 3 dogs, these are the thermal underwears you want to wear. But they're real warm and real lightweight, and I enjoy using them the times I've been working outside. This is recommended from a guy from REI that to use for a thermal shirt. I think I'm going to like it. We'll see what happens, but it's supposed to be a good warm thermal shirt, good lightweight. It's definitely a good weight. So those are the shirts and pants and underwear that I'm wearing. Now to my socks. I have 3 pairs of socks. Hope to be wearing a pair. I hope to have a pair that may be dirty, and I hope a pair that's going to be clean. So I'm going to be able to rotate these. These are darn tough socks. That's what they're called, darn tough socks. They're made out of Vermont. These are lifetime guarantee socks. So if I wear a hole in them, all I do is ship them to the company, and they will give me a brand new pair. They're a little expensive, about 25, 30 bucks. But they are worth every dime. They will keep you warm, feet warm. They're made out of merino wool or some type of wool that will keep your feet dry. No, not dry. They will keep your feet warm when the sock is wet. And so that's kind of problems, kind of things that's going to be able to help me. Speaking of socks, you got to put some shoes on that. I've loved Merrell's. I've enjoyed using Merrell's for my hiking purposes and stuff like that. I usually pull the inserts out immediately and put in another insole, and it's called Spinco. And we have a local shoe company in Asheboro called Walker Shoes, and they sell this Spinco, and I get the total support insoles. And these are the Moab Vent. And when they get wet, they usually dry out pretty quickly. And I'm really like using it. I got a couple pair of Gators from Dirty Girl. My jury's still out on whether or not I want to use these or not. I usually don't get a lot of debris in my shoes, rocks and pebbles and stuff like that. And so, but I know the purpose of it is to keep that kind of stuff like that. I may drop those if I need to later on down on the trail or something like that. All right, so and then I got one last thing just in case it gets too cold. I found this at the Salvation Army. It's a wool sweater, and it's I'm looking forward to using this. It's a little scratchy for wool. It's not that merino wool where it's real soft. But the thing is about wool, when it gets wet, it still keeps you warm, and that's the main thing about wool. Once again, this is something that will be dropping come spring and come summertime, and that's not something that I'll be wearing and carrying with me the whole time. So that is my wear. Now I got to talk about coats. Go Blue Comets. I got my Blue Comet hat that I wear. I got about 5 or 6 different kind of hats. But this is my first hat I'm going to be wearing on the trail. Pair of gloves I got from REI. These are just kind of cool hiking gloves, something like that. They're thin, they're lightweight. I'm hoping they keep my hands warm and dry, and that's the problem with that. Got a raincoat, just your typical raincoat, kind of like it. Place that I work from, Caraway, issued this raincoat. And I've used it out in the rain. It's kept me dry, and that's the most important thing. Thing is about raincoats, normally they soak through after a while. This has been pretty good, and I'm hoping that's going to be able to work pretty good. Now I have a lightweight puffy, which I'm going to use underneath that raincoat, and this is real lightweight puffy, but it's going to hopefully use it as an insulating later. So if I use this and my thermals and the raincoat, maybe I can just hike with it. I do have a heavier coat. This is a heavier puffy, and I'm hoping this heavier puffy is going to keep me warm, and with all the other stuff that I have, hopefully I'll be able to stay warm enough. Now this is an item that I may, let me go to this other, since I was talking about rain gear. This is a Frog Tog rain pant, and it's lightweight also. This particular one is lined, and so if it gets real cold and wet and rainy, hopefully this will keep me warm. And once again, it's lightweight, and Frog Tog is usually pretty inexpensive stuff, but the durability, from what I understand from my reading, is not that great. But that's my rain pant. Now this is something I may or may not drop. I don't know. I just don't want my hands to get wet and cold, and it's just something about freezing cold, wet hands. It's just miserable. But Boss Man that I work with there at Caraway gave me these gloves, and these are got a good surface, a waterproof surface on the outside, and they're really good insulated. I'm trying to decide whether I want to take these or not. I want to take them because I want to keep dry and warm, but I don't know if it's worth the extra weight. After getting everything packed in my backpack, we'll have to see what happens. But these are gloves I may or may not take, and so there they are. Okay, and I got to make a decision on these socks. These are just some thick wool socks that I've used for hunting. I know these things keep me warm, but I mainly is going to use them possibly as a sleep sock, something to keep my feet warm while I'm trying to sleep. So we'll see about that. I'm decisions kind of out on that, whether or not I'm going to use it. Speaking of sleeping, let's talk about how I'm going to sleep, where I'm going to sleep, that kind of stuff like that. This is a pad, and I'm going to show this a little bit more in detail later on. But this is just a sleep pad. It's kind of like an air mattress, but I'll show you a little bit more detail on that when we do future videos on DudeMan TV or the DudeMan Show. What are we going to call this? I don't know yet, but we're going to figure this out. But this is just an air mattress. It's inflatable, and it helps you absorb. It's also insulated. What's so cool about it? It's insulated, so it's going to not let that ground that I'm sleeping on be so cold on my sleeping bag. And of course, I'll be inside the tent. And but this is going to give you a little bit of insulation, give you a little bit more air, so you can not be so cold. This is my pillow, and it folds out a good size. I'll show you that also in a future video. And it's very comfortable, and I'm going to enjoy using that also. This is my MSR Hubba NX 2-person tent. You're thinking, well, Tim, you're not taking anybody with you, but the thing is about a 2-person tent, this is lightweight enough that I can use it and be able to spread my gear out. And I love that it has 2 entrances. I'll show you a little bit more of that on future videos, the setup and stuff like that. So that'll be kind of cool to be able to see the way this tent is set up. What's neat about this tent, which I'll be able to show you later on, is that you can set the tent up underneath the rain fly. So I can set my footprint up, set the rain fly up, and get up under that while it's raining and set the tent up and not let the tent get wet. But once again, I'll show you more about that later on. Jury's kind of out whether I'm going to take this. This is a chamois, something that I can hopefully dry off the tent a little bit when I'm packing it up. It's lightweight enough, which I think I can sacrifice the ounces to carry, but we'll see what happens. I like to not have my tent so dry, not so wet when I pack it up. But the thing is, I can always, take a lunch break out in the middle of a meadow or something like that and spread the tent out, let it dry in the sun, and stuff like that. So I'll have to make a decision on whether I want to take that or not. Okay, all the stuff I showed you so far has to go into this backpack, okay? But I got more stuff I got to show you, and let's look at the food and some other stuff that I got to take with me. Whoa. Is that close enough? Is that close enough?
Yes.
All right. Okay, here we go. Food items. Food. All right. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get down to Apalachian Falls on Thursday. Like I said, there's the ATKO festival. It's this coming weekend. And so I'm definitely going to stay there Friday and check that out. And I may start hiking on Saturday or Sunday. It depends on how I feel. But it's going to be 3 days before I can get to Neal's Gap. And that's about 30 miles in. So I got to have enough food for at least 3 days before I can resupply. So these are some of the food items that I plan on taking with me. And I may or may not have too much food, but you never can tell what you got to do, how you're going to have to hold up, what you're going to have to do. Anyhow, got a couple of Mountain House meals. What's so cool about these for the inexperienced that don't know anything like, you can just pull, there's a little notch right here, you tear off the top, and you pour in this particular 1 2/3 cup of boiling water. And I'll show you how I boil water here in a minute. But pour boiling water in there, you stir it up and close it up. Wait 5 minutes, open it up, and stir it again, and then you wait another 4 minutes. So you're going to have to wait about 10 minutes before you even get some food. Hope you're not hungry. But this is beef stroganoff of noodles, and this is chicken and dumplings. And you eat right out of the bag, so that's kind of cool. And if you ever go backpacking, make sure you have a long spoon. And this is a sport though, and it has an edge right here for a knife. Just kind of cool. And what's another cool thing about it is the edge has something where you can rest the fork on the edge right there. So, and it has you can detach that part right there and help you tear open some of your packaging and something like that. So it's a pretty cool little sport, but it's a long handle, and I learned by mistakes that you got to have a long handled spoon to be able to reach down into these packets. So as you can tell, it takes a little bit of room to get down there, especially if you're trying to get down to the corner and get all the goodies out of. So that's my first couple of the meals, and that's for supper, so to speak. And one of my friends, Larry, gave me this lasagna, and I have a Food Saver vacuum pack system, and I was able to take what do we do? How many cups we put in it? 1 1/4, 1.5 cups, or something like that. And so put 1.5 cups in here and sealed it up. And what's so cool about it, I read on the Food Savers website, only thing I have to do is cut off this top edge right there and pour water into it, hot boiling water into this pouch, and I can eat straight out of this pouch. So he gave me, my friend Larry gave me a big 10 cup can of this lasagna, and now I have 6 meals, and so that's kind of cool. And to be able to have that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suppers, so to speak. And like I said, I had 3 days, but I got Amalacola Falls Thursday night, Amalacola Falls Friday night, and then I have 3 days of hiking. So potentially this is just enough food for 5 suppers, and which should hopefully get me to Neil's Gap. Breakfast. Oh yeah, one more supper. This is rice and chicken, and I've had this stored for a while, and same kind of thing. You pour off the pouch. Now for breakfast, I have biscuits and gravy, and I have granola with milk and blueberries. Once again, you just add water. I think this one right here, the granola with milk and blueberry, you add 1/2 cup of cold water to it. Oh, I need to give a little plug for Larry here. We got to make sure that you take out the oxygen absorber. That's very important to take the oxygen absorber out, right, Larry? Yeah. Little joke there. Sorry, bud. But oxygen absorber is very important to put out. It's not pepper. It's not seasoning. So each of these packs have oxygen absorbers that you want to take out. So that's my breakfast. So what do I do in the middle of the day? A lot of backpackers will eat their breakfast in the morning. Oh, let me talk about right after breakfast. I also have coffee for the morning. This is Taster's Source, Taster's Choice, instant coffee. You just pour that into your cup. And so we'll pour that into my cup, one of these little packets here, and pour that in my cup, and pour some of the hot boiling water in it. And then these are my flavoring packets. I have some caramel macchiato and some other stuff like that that's going to be able to help give it a little bit more flavor to it. I can't drink my coffee black. I just don't like it that great. But that's what's going to happen to that. So a lot of backpackers, hikers will eat their breakfast in the morning. And then they will do something for lunch where they don't have to cook, because you don't want to be hiking 2, 3, 4 hours, and when you get to a certain point of the day, we say, well, we'll take a break for lunch. I need to have some snack. And what they'll do is eat a candy bar. Here's some candy bars. I got some Made Good mixed berry granola minis. So there's a couple different ways I'm going to eat snacks for lunch. And also, if I decide I'm a little bit more hungry and use I just took some tuna packets, which has the mayonnaise and the relish and the crackers, and just kind of repackaged it and put it in these Ziploc bags so I can use it, just to eat and this kind of eat. But also, me and the wife bought like 5 or 6 or 7 different kind of things that I thought would be tasty for a trail mix, and we made up our own trail mix. So we have bunches and bunches of this. We ended up about 7 ounces or something like that. So this is got pumpkin seeds and cashews and chocolate covered raisins and cherries and goji berries or something like that. It's supposed to have a lot of protein and stuff like that, other kind of good stuff in it. But a lot of really cool stuff. So we vacuum sealed all that, and that's what I use for trail mix for something to eat. So that's some of the food that I'm taking. Let's talk about stove. So this is my stove system. I do not have a fuel canister with it right now. Usually the fuel canister would be nestled into this little part right here. But you screw the fuel canister into here, and then you ignite it, and there's a flame comes here. What's so cool about this system, unlike some of the other systems that you come in, that you experience, that this will screws into this bottom right here, and it's a very efficient system. And you put your water in here, and this will boil water in no time flat. This is also an MSR system, just like my 10 is, and it's pretty good system. I think I'm gonna enjoy using that. It's a little heavier for a stove. I don't know. I know there are people that use a whole lot lighter weight stoves and stuff like that, and I know I probably am sacrificing some weight here. It's just a stove that was recommended to me by one of the people at REI. So I'm hoping it's going to be great, and I'm hoping it's going to be the thing I use. But it's a very highly efficient stove. So you heat up water and pour it into your cup for your coffee, or you pour it into your bags for your food. So that's my food system. All that food has to go into this bag right here. And there's more than enough room for all this food right here to go into that. And what I do, once I get it in there, I'll roll my bag down to the point where it's got the food, and then I clap it together. And I'll show this a little bit more in detail when we're on the trail about how I'm going to do this. But this rolls down, and let me get the clamp out here. There you go. And we clamp it together like that. Then we take the this little bag, and this is full of string, okay? This is a reflective string, and you go about 25, 30, 40 yards away from your tent, and you get a weighted rock or stick or something like that, and throw the stick up over a tree branch, and you hang your food. And I'll go more and more detail about how we hang food. And why am I hanging food? Well, that's in case of bears. So that keeps bears away from me, and I'll talk more about that when I'm on the trail, about the necessity of hanging the food and keeping it away from you. Lighter for the stove. Let's go to the next part. This is may or may not take this. Initially, I want to take it with me, but especially how cold and wet it may be, because I don't like being cold and wet, but it's just going to be part of it. But this is called a pocket bellows. My friend from work, Caleb, used one of these. It's very lightweight, and instead of being right down up against the fire, I can blow on this and help get the fire started. It has a couple of little wicking things, little things in here that is soaked with some type of product that when you fluff this out like a big cotton ball and you light it, it will burn and it will start a fire. I've seen demonstrations that where it will start the fire up, and it will no matter how wet the wood is. And you got to get the three components there. You got to get oxygen, which this pocket bellows does. You got to have fuel, and so you got to have everything together to be able to get the fire started. Okay, moving right to left. So the next part, let's talk about smells, I suppose. This is not going, and this is not going, but I just want to show you about underarm deodorant. And a lot of hikers are just embrace the funk, and they just going to stink. And I'm gonna have to decide what I'm gonna do about that stink, that I'm gonna have. But I think I found a solution, a lightweight solution that's going to help. This is witch hazel that has aloe vera in it, so it's not going to. It's, you know, we know that witch hazel isn't astringent, and witch hazel kills germs that smell in your armpit. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to use this, and what I've done, I went to a local. Like GNC type store in Asheboro. It's a Samson and Lion store. It has a lot of different supplements, natural stuff, essential oils, none of this, none of that. But the guy sold me some really cool things. So I squirt the witch hazel in here to that point, and then I've put 2 to 4 drops of cedar wood in it. So that's kind of cool to be able to use that and for a different kind of smell. You put that in there that has a little roller ball that it comes off of there, and you'll be able to, you know, use it for your armpits. Smells pretty decent, and like I said, it's small and it's lightweight enough to pack. Once again, the decision's kind of out whether or not I'm going to take that with me. I don't know yet, but these 2 items are not going with me. They'll be in the RV, and that'll be something I can resupply my bag, my deodorant stuff. How I'm going to keep my hands clean, especially with this. There's a couple diseases out there, or not diseases, but are things that you need to be concerned about when you're on the trail. And one of the main thing is rotavirus. People are not cleaning themselves properly after they use the bathroom. Their hands get dirty, none of this, none of that. And there's different kind of ways that their hands are contaminated. And so what do you do about that? How do you keep your hands clean? And well, I want to take this soap here. This is soap called Hippie Soap. It's got a little tea tree and mint in it. It's biodegradable. It's plant-based. And it's gentle enough for your hands and face. It's powerful enough to do dishes and laundry and washing the dog. And, of course, I'm not taking this big old bottle like this. But what I found is a little thing. This is so stinking cool. I mean, it's not coming out. It's not leaking whatsoever. But you pop the top and squeeze it. See, it's not even coming out when you turn it upside down. But you squeeze it and you get 1 little drop or many drops as you want to. And I got just a little bit in the bottom here that hopefully will be able to keep my hands clean and be able to wash up any dishes I have, like my coffee cup and stuff like that. And so I have a little scrubber, a little handcrafted scrubber that is just lightweight enough. I can scrub out stuff like that, keep my dishes clean and stuff like that. So that's my system for cleaning and keeping smelling fresh as a daisy or fresh as cedar wood. So that's what I'm going to use for that. Let's keep going. Talk about this here in a minute. Take a drink of some of this good old tea. Okay, water. How do I deal with water? Streams and creeks and springs. That's all along the way, and I have an app on my phone that's called Gut Hook, and it tells you how many miles it is, or how many, what the distance is between the stream you're at now, or the shelter you're at right now, or the mountain you're at now. You can just open up the Gut Hook and find a water icon, click on it. You can find out how far it is to that next water source. Well, how do you collect it? There's a lot of different ways to get to that and do that. This is one of the water, couple of water bottles I'll be carrying. This is my clean water, and after I drink this, I want to refill these bottles because they're real easy to refill, and there's a couple of different things that works well with them. Also, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. This is also be a clean water bottle. What's so cool about these Nalgene bottles, something like that? I can boil water in my stove. And then I can pour that boiling water into this plastic container. But this plastic container is made so it will hold boiling hot water. And I got to use it as a hot water bottle. So that's kind of cool. But also, it's going to enable me to put clean water in this too. And that's not how I'm going to get clean water. So because if I get water from a stream or a creek or a spring or something like that, you cannot depend on it being clean enough to drink. Are people that drink directly from the stream or creek and just dip the bottle in there and use that. but I'm not that trusting. There's just too much chances of giardia or other kind of diseases. And if you get giardia or rotavirus, something like that, you will not be happy. You'll have intestinal discomfort to the point where you don't want to be hiking, because you'll be trying to find a tree or a bush to hide behind and take a dump. So what do? Well, these are a really good filter system. They're called Sawyer Squeeze, okay? And so what you do, your Sawyer Squeeze, is well, number one, you could just dip your water straight out of the stream with these, and this will screw straight onto the top of it, and you can squeeze, you can drink straight out of it. But I gotta have a better way to get the water into here. So what you do is get your water into one of these bags here. Well, I've had experience with these things before, some of the hiking trips I've done, and when you try to lower this down into the water, no matter if the bag is inflated, the water, for some odd reason, the surface tension of the water deflates the bag and no water goes into it. And I read online the best way to combat that is get you a cup. So what I've done is got an old Sawyer bag. This used to be a Sawyer bag just like this, but smaller. And what I'm doing, I can scoop water out of the stream or creek or something like that and fill this bag up. This is a 64-ounce bag, okay? And this is a 32-ounce bottle right here. So this is 2 of these. And what I can do is just fill this bag all the way up, and then this water, when this bag is full of water, I squeeze the water into this container right here, okay? This right here will filter out contaminants, and this will make the water safe to drink. And that's what's so cool about it. The Sawyer Squeeze water filtration system. They're guaranteed for thousands and thousands of gallons. I'll never be able to use that on this trip like that. So that's kind of cool to be able to use that, and they'll be able to help me stay safe and be able to drink water as I go along the way. Okay, let's put this to the side, out of the way, so I can show you a little bit better what's going on. Get these out of the way. So that's my water system. This is my water system. Oh, one of the ways I'm going to carry the water for quick access, either the water bottle's there, or this water bottle here is just a little neoprene thing here. It'll strap into my backpack, shoulder straps and stuff like that, and be able to help me to have quick access to it and be able to use it. Let's see here, water filtration. I forgot to show you this a while ago. This is more of the snacks that I got. This is homemade jerky, and I'll show you a little bit more about that later, but this is part of my snacks for on the trail, something like that. Okay, let's go to hygiene. How am I going to, we already talked a little bit about the soap that I'm using, and but that's good for washing my hands, but there's some bits about your body that you want to wash, that you want to keep a little bit cleaner. This is called Bedside Care Spray. Once again, this is something I may or may not take with me, or might not use further on down the trail, but I want to try it. And what I'm going to try to do, and the directions on this is pretty good. You just spray this onto a moist washcloth, wipe your body down, and that's all you have to do. It cleans the body. It cleans the body from stuff. So I could use this bandana and this spray like that. Now another alternative, it may be as light or lighter, is to get some baby wipes, unscented baby wipes. I can clean myself, and because sometimes I'm gonna be in the woods for 2 to 3 days, and you know, and if I'm hiking, I got body salts and stuff like that. And that's not something you want to live with, because you'll get chafing and you'll just your skin will start breaking down. So you got to protect your body. You got to find a way to clean your body. So I'm trying to come up with solutions. So I got a bandana and this bedside care spray. So this is something that was they use in hospital to clean a patient that is bedridden. So I figure it may be good for me. The problem is it's 4 ounces that I'm carrying. Of course, it's going to deplete as I go along, and we'll see whether or not we'll use that, but that's what I got for right now, and I may switch over to some baby wipes. Does the bear go poop in the woods? Well, they do. And I'm hoping that my pooping in the woods is going to be an okay experience. I'm not looking forward to it. Most of the shelters, if not all just about all the shelters, have a privy. And if you guys have grown up in the 30s and 40s and 50s, you might know about outhouses. They're kind of like an outhouse, and it's a very rudimentary, very primitive type of way to use a bathroom, but at least you're not digging a hole. But if I have to dig a hole, this is my very lightweight digging tool, and this is called the deuce. And so technically, you're supposed to dig a hole that's this deep, and it's supposed to be that wide too. And so it's supposed to be about that wide. So that's about the dimensions of what you want to dig your hole, and that's what you're supposed to poop into. And I hope I can hit the hole. And so this is what you poop into, and I gotta have toilet paper to do that. And then you cover it up, and you're supposed to mark it with an X across that area so people know don't dig there. So that's how I'm gonna poop. More hygiene stuff. What's so cool about when you go to the dentist? They give you a toothpaste to go. And I got a toothbrush. I've even seen hikers, they'll take their toothbrush to save ounces, and they will cut off part of the handle. But, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cut my handle off just so I can brush my teeth. But this is my toothbrush and my one single unit toothpaste. That's not going to get me the whole way. Fortunately, I have a great support vehicle, and she's going to have more toothpaste for me to pack in. Let's go to electronics. Light, my headlight is a black diamond light, and I got that from REI, and it's supposed to last like 50 some hours, so it's pretty good for batteries and stuff like that. More electronics. This is just a bandana. It helped me wipe down some lenses. Just an extra bandana. I don't know if I'm gonna need this or not. Once again, it's an item that I may or may not take. But just to have an extra bandana may or may not be purposeful. I was thinking I might need it for cleaning. You know, I've already got that other one for cleaning for my body, so I was gonna use that for my body. But this extra bandana, I don't know if I need it. They're lightweight, but when you think about, oh, it's just a few ounces, and next thing you know, you're carrying 40 pounds. Well, I don't know how much my pack weighs right now, but I know that it's going to be really close to 30 pounds. But that's my winter weight. I've already showed you how heavy my pants are. I've already showed you how heavy my coats are, something like that. So I'm hoping that I can carry little items like this for a luxury item. And I'm going to show you another luxury item, which I didn't show you a while ago when I showed you my backpack. But anyhow, a couple things for cleaning. You got to be able to make these videos, to be able to get the pictures that you're going to be able to see on DudeMan TV or the DudeMan Show. I got to have a way to charge my phone. Okay, so here I am with 2 or 3 days back in the woods. This is an Anchor 10,000 milliamp charging system. I got to get into town every 3 or 4 days to recharge this so I can recharge my phone. At the same time, I'm going to be able to get to a place where I can plug in with this, and I plug my USB into here, and then I plug the other end into my phone, okay? And what's so cool about this long cord here, I can use it also to plug into my charging device. I have it in my backpack and have it plugged into my phone if I carry my phone up here in my waist area. So that's my electronics thing. One more thing, electronics. This is my remote shutter. I can take pictures, so I'll be able to click this while I'm standing in the picture. Also, I can, if I have my camera set up for video mode, I can go ahead and start the video while I'm standing out in front of the camera, and I'll be able to start and stop the camera using this. So that's going to be kind of cool. Medicine, I'm on, this is a stomach medicine, and this is allergy medicine. Hopefully, I'm not going to have to use the allergy medicine too long. I'm not carrying this whole bottle the whole trail from Georgia to Maine. This is just for the first couple weeks until my wife meets up with me. The stomach medicine, I'm going to have to see how my stomach goes. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to use it. This is a Petsy stuff. I have like acid reflux, and we'll have to see how this hiker food affects me. It's not as spicy, but you know, with this lasagna here, it may affect my stomach, and I don't know how it's going to do. So I'm definitely want to take the stomach medicine with me. And then, you know, there's going to be times when I'm going along the trail, and of course, you know, after the wife meets me and stuff like that, I'm going to be going into some of these towns and eating pizza or other Mexican or other stuff that may or may not affect my stomach. So I kind of need my stomach medicine. Genetically, I need hypertension medicine. It's not because I'm overweight, obviously. But I got a couple different blood pressure medicines that I'm going to be using. I got a pill organizer, which I'm going to be using to help have my medicines divided up into 7 different days, and I'm able to use that for my medicine. Let's go back to electronics real quick. This is the device that I'm going to carry my phone in, and I've also got it set up so I can tie it into my backpack, and hopefully I'm going to be able to strap it into my backpack and maybe do a little bit of filming. If I got it set up right, put this pouch back here and strap it into my backpack. I'll be able to do some filming in a landscape mode, so you'll be able to see the where I'm hiking, how I'm hiking, difficulties I'm going through. So that's kind of cool to be able to use that. And the next thing I want to show you is this tennis ball. This tennis ball is actually for my foot. I have a tendency to get plantar fasciitis in my left foot, and it hurts a lot. There's different things you can do to stretch that arch out for it not to hurt as bad. So I'll find a log or rock, and I'll step up on the ball of my foot on that log or rock and drop that heel, and that stretches that arch out as I go along. Or I can take this and roll that into the arch of my foot and help. Or I'm going to hopefully have some frozen bottles of water in the RV that is going to helpful to rub and to arch my foot. I played softball for several years, and I struggled a little bit of plantar fasciitis during the season, but I found that if I stretch that arch out and stretch that whole back of the leg out and really stretch that arch out, it usually during the season the plantar fasciitis pain went away. So I'm hoping the more and more I hike, the more and more I stretch it, the less likely I'll have problems with my plantar fasciitis. And one more thing. There's 2 more things I want to show you. These may be considered a luxury item, but I don't know whether they are or not. But it's just something I'm willing to sacrifice the weight for and something like that. If I'm hiking along, it's around lunchtime, or I need to take a break, instead of sitting down on a rock or log and dirtying the back of my pants and stuff like that, I plan on using this little seat here. And I thought, it's lightweight enough, and I thought maybe it'd be cool enough. What's so cool about it, it kind of folds out, and I can sit down on this pad, and I can fold it up a little bit and make it a little bit thicker if I need to give me a little bit more extra padding when I sit down on a log or rock. And I could just use this for sitting around the campsite if I want to. But, I think logs and rocks should be used for cooking. I don't think you should be sitting on logs and rocks because they're not comfortable. This makes it a little bit more comfortable. This is more of a kind of a lunchtime thing. But what's so cool about this, and I showed you my air mattress a while ago, and the thing is, when I had this thing inflated, and I'm laying inside the tent, and I want to lay on my side, and I want to stretch my arm out, I want to have my arm kind of drops off the edge of that mattress, and it's kind of uncomfortable. It kind of hyperextends my arm. So what I'm going to do is have this laid there beside my mattress and lay on top of it and stretch my arm on top of it to kind of give me a little padding as it's right beside my air mattress. So I'm hoping this works for a variety of purposes. And like I said, I could take this and use it in a multiple kind of ways and just have it. But I choose to carry a 1-pound seat. And this, and I'll show you this later on in other videos, but this is a 1-pound seat, and it folds out, and it has a mesh screen fabric on it, and it gives you my opportunity to get my butt up off the ground. It gives me an opportunity to just sit there and walk and be able to cook and relax around a campfire, relax around the campsite, just like that. And I think this is a luxury item, and it's a 1 pound that I could do without, but I think I'm going to take it. All right, this is the end of this particular section of the video, and we're going to switch into a mode on this particular video. It shows me everything packing up. So we're going to stop the video now, and then we're going to show you some more stuff here in a minute.